Who's breathing heavy? You hear every breath.
Sounds like Darth
I think that's
Vader.
Paul.
I was looking at Mark and I got a little,
Oh, geez. Okay, folks, let's get started here. Welcome to what is our first live Zoom reception for our salon members pushpin exhibition. Prior to Fotofoto Gallery being closed for 5 months, very happily, we had the salon meetings once a month. And Paul will talk a little bit more about that and how it was run when you guys all were here at the gallery. I want to give you a little bit of an update first about what's happening at the gallery. This weekend, solo shows by Eileen Novak and Dennis Ostrowski come down on Saturday. They're both extraordinary. If you get a chance to come by and see them, they have been so well received, as well as the pushpin exhibition in the back. Coming up next is Andrea Gordon. She has a solo show, as well as one of our new members, Tom Demick. So beautiful shows coming up. And in the back, our very first Artist Invitational. There were
had one before.
oh, thank you. That's right. We did have one several years ago. The Artist Invitational involves 11 of our artists, our photo gallery member artists, who selected a guest artist to show with them. And the guest artist does not have to be a photographer. So we have painters, photographers, we have a sculptor, and that show is going to be up for June and July. The reception dates are on our website and also on our Facebook page, so please check it out. Coming up in September is our phonography show, and I am still in the process of looking for a juror for our show. We like to find someone who is nationally known. Last year, Jim Lennon was our juror, and he did a phenomenal job. So it's great to see. It's great to see you guys. I'm so happy to see all of you back. Paul has made a commitment to running a Zoom meeting once a month. Don't let him get away. So it's going to be awesome. The last thing I'm going to say is please feel free to make comments in the chat. Or, I think what Paul's talked about is just, this is not just a reception. It's also like, the regular Zoom meeting that you guys had. And in addition to the artists talking about their work, you had give and take and feedback about what was going on. So, Paul, go ahead.
All right. This should be interesting because I have never done this before. Let's see. It's good to have everybody back.
Paul, I'm sorry, I forgot something. Because Michael is brand new, maybe what it might be nice to do first is just go around and people introduce themselves. You guys, I'm Pam Waldrop. I'm president of the gallery and one of the members. And go ahead.
I'm Eileen Novak. I'm the treasurer of Fotofoto.
And I am Paul Mealy. I am the vice president of Fotofoto.
And salon members?
I'm Alan Richards. I'm a salon member. Not salon.
No, you're not.
I'm a member.
And the client.
Get confused easily, that.
Okay, Lori?
I'm Lori Sklar, a salon member.
Ken?
Hi, I'm Ken Farrell, even though it says Jerry, I'm not Jerry. And I take pictures. I don't know what else. I love the salon. I love Fotofoto. And I love Huntington too. So
Good to see you back. Mark?
So I'm Mark Alter. I've been associated with Fotofoto as a salon member for many years. I love getting together with you guys, and I take wildlife and landscapes and do abstracts and anything that comes to my mind that's fun to do.
Susan?
I'm Susan Tiffin. Let's see. I'm a new member of fotofoto. I am the recording secretary, I hear. And a lot of landscapes, a lot of flowers, some people. What else? That's it.
And Susan, just a couple months ago was one of, prior to becoming a member, she was one of our Your Best Shot winners. And so she had a solo show in addition to Tony Monaco, and her show was outstanding.
Thank you.
Michael?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. So, well, yeah, I should introduce myself. Well, first of all, thanks a lot for having me in the gallery. It's great pleasure. When I moved to the US 2.25 years ago, I immediately wanted to do more photography, but then the pandemic hit, and so I'm really glad now to be part of this gallery. I've seen it. I've been at your gallery a couple of times. I met a few members, and I saw all your pictures in the back room in the back gallery.
The residents really like you.
So what am I doing? Well, I take obviously pictures. I do more.
Guys, excuse me, if you're not talking, can you mute yourselves?
Yeah, Lauren, we hear you.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Michael. Thanks.
Okay, so yes, I've done a lot of not really landscapes, but objects in the past many years ago. But I more and more moved to take pictures of people, and particularly because I travel to New York quite frequently because of my work. I'm a scientist at Brookhaven Lab and had many collaborations here. So this traveling to this wonderful city kind of inspired me to take more street photography. And it's tough at the beginning because you don't dare to direct your camera at a person and take a picture, but with the time it becomes more easier. And then later I started to try to do this in a more kind of refined way by arranging people that I knew in a studio setting. So maybe you can actually see this behind there. So that's my studio here. I've just got 2 rows of paper and a bit of light, and that's essentially all I have, and I need to take studio portraits. And I'm just telling you about the studio and street because these are 2 categories of work that I sent you. What else can I say?
Well, we will look forward to seeing your work and hearing more about it soon.
I'm also looking forward
Okay.
to seeing all in person pretty soon, and I think I've
Yes.
said enough for the moment.
Thank you very much. Barry?
Yeah, hi, it's Barry Kirstein. I was a member of fotofoto for many years. Right now, I'm just working in the studio, painting, photography. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. Tom?
Tom, you're muted.
Oh, Tom, yeah, unmute.
Compliant and muted myself. So I'm Tom Demick. I am a newer member to fotofoto, joined a month or so ago. I take pictures, obviously, and mostly landscape. I enjoy being outdoors, and photography is one of the ways that enables me to spend long periods of time looking at things.
Thanks. And Tom is one of the gallery artist members who is has a solo show coming up in June. The title of his show is Overlooked. So, thank you, Tom. Alan?
I said something before.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. My name is Alan Richards, part of the fotofoto. And photography is, I do some photography. Most of my stuff is mashups. So it's a combination of photoshopping and photography and whatever other photographic stuff I can get my hands on to make into some sort of a picture. sometimes it works out well.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Medio, and I just take pictures. I love taking pictures. I went to school for photography years ago, and I kind of lost interest in it. And I had a camera, and then I got a cell phone, and I started taking pictures with my cell phone. And now I've got 2 real cameras. So I'm getting back into it. I found my eye again.
Chris was also in our Your Best Shot pushpin exhibition, and I believe, Chris, you had 3 pieces in the show, correct?
Yes, I
Yes, very nice.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And Andrea is one of our gallery artists, who is the other person who's having a solo show next month.
Unmute.
Unmute.
You're muted, Andrea.
Andrea, unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, I've been around foto for a long time, but only recently have become a full member. The gallery's doing fabulous. I'm very proud to be part of it. I'm in the midst of creating this exhibit that's going up next week. It's exciting and stressful at the same time, but I love photography. Has become a vehicle in which I can do a lot of self-exploration.
Great. Barbara, thank you, Andrea. Barbara.
Barbara, I'm a salon member, thanks to Paul. I just love being outside, and I like to hike and bike. So the camera's always with me, and I'm getting better every time I do this. So, and you guys are my inspiration, because I came in and I saw the exhibits, and they are just incredible. So I'm still in the learning process.
Your work is inspiring as well. You have
Well,
quite a
thank you.
following. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Lauren Jane. Hi, welcome.
Hi, how are you? Sorry, I'm a little late. So my name is Lauren. I went to one of the receptions at fotofoto before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened. So I have lost touch a little bit, but slowly I'm trying to get some more photography out there, and I like to take pictures of the more of a commercial approach.
Okay. So we'll be interested to hear you speak about your work when it comes up in the slideshow today.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Paul.
Oh, goody, it's my turn. Well, it's nice to see everybody again, even if we're not all in the same place at the same time, but it's a start. So I'm not really good at this kind of thing, so I guess we'll just get into it.
Pardon me?
So I guess we'll, is this better? I can hear myself, but I don't know if you can hear me. Good? Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll handle this as we used to do it in traditional salon style. One person will go at a time. If everybody else can mute themselves, and if anybody has a comment or a question, just do the little hand raise thing, and we'll get back to you on that. And that's about it. So we're going to start the slideshow, and we're going to go in alphabetical order according to first name. So let's do it. How do I get this thing to it? Take up the whole screen. So everybody can see it. Bear with us, people. Hey.
Did you share the screen?
Pam, can you see this?
No.
Yeah, share the screen.
Okay, we're working on it.
While they're looking to share the slideshow, I will tell you also, after Andrea Gordon's and Tom Demick's solo shows, next up is Paul's solo show and mine. So here we go.
All right, we are ready to go. Barbara, you are first up at bat.
Really?
Yes, really.
I'm speechless.
I hope not.
And for me, that's a first.
I was about to say that. I don't believe that. All right, Bob, you know the drill.
So this is Long Beach. Sometimes sunsets it's too much. So trying to look for something different, but with a sunset. So this was one of the, I don't even know what you call it. It's like the erosion, the way that the ocean's to the left, and then you had to climb up this to get to the sand. And I thought this was quite interesting. Something a little different for me than just a regular sunset.
Next. Barb?
Okay. Well,
Okay.
this is the third photo because you said you
Oh,
needed
sorry.
3.
Yeah,
No,
the third-
that's
they're
okay.
all
That's
in there.
okay. That's okay. It really doesn't match the abstract that I was looking for, but you needed the third photo. So this was actually edited in Photoshop. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Because that's those sun vibes were not really there. I kind of inserted them. Yeah, I mean, this is just the third photo that we needed, and I like this. I happen to like this. It comes up a lot. I have it in exhibits, and everybody seems to love it. So it's one of my favorites.
I'm just going to jump in here for a second and say something to Barbara and everybody else, because I've been, privileged to be part of the salon discussions. And folks, I know this is a little different format for you, but just go with it like you would at the salon meetings, where you would talk about your image exactly the same way, what your process is, what you were going for. I know you always ask for suggestions. You mentioned that you edited in Photoshop. Would you care to expand a little bit on what you decided to enhance in this, Barbara?
Yeah, they have something called the sun rays thing in the panel. So I was playing around with the sun rays thing and managed to get it behind One World Trade. And the title of this is See Me, but the me is capital M, capital E. And I just thought, what a great spiritual tribute to something like this. When I was working, when this happened, 2 of my students, their fathers, died in the 9/11. So I thought this would be kind of a nice tribute to them and to everybody, rather than just everybody that walks along this walkway and everybody takes the same shot over and over and over again. Just something to do a little tribute, and it's something a little different for.
Can I make a comment, Barbara? It's
You can
Susan.
sure. Hi, Susan. How are you?
I want to say your rays of sun are particularly well done.
Oh, thank
because
you.
I've seen
Thank
so
you.
many that are really badly done that look, but the softness, I think you did a very nice job. Just
thank you. I appreciate that. When I edit my photos, I'm very light with them because I don't want them to seem very edited. Like even with when you do like the vibrance and saturation, I don't want it to be overly done so that when people look at it, they go, oh, well, that was edited. So I'm very light-handed with stuff like that. So I appreciate your feedback.
I think you very successfully used it as a way to expand your voice and not become a Photoshop example.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. And this actually sold. I did an exhibition 2 years ago for a fireman's benefit. And like this sold like hotcakes because I think a lot of the firemen really liked that that look, so to speak. So.
Come on. There we go.
Oh, this was, we did this in.
Sorry, Bob.
Oh, that's okay.
How do we go backwards? How come I can't go back? Oh, I got it.
Should just be
Due to technical difficulty, we will now go to commercial break.
And we're back.
Keep your eye on the waiting room because I know my friend Sandy's trying to get in.
Okay.
Hold on, I got it.
So this was taken at Beacon. This is a Overlook Falls, right on Main Street. Just as the sun is starting to go. I just thought this was kind of a neat angle to take this at, and I think I actually handheld this for the long exposure as well. If I'm
Wow.
not mistaken. Yeah. But
Wow.
here's the bad news. Wow. Since I'm not really wrote in Lightroom just yet, and now I've figured out what I've done wrong. When I uploaded this, I should have saved it first. So I don't have the raw file of this any longer. I have others, but for some reason, Lightroom decided to keep my raw file, and I don't know where it is. And at some point, I guess I'll figure out where it is, if it's anywhere.
Is it on the
But now
card in your camera?
No, because now I have learned to take my card and save stuff first before I put it in Lightroom in case I make that error again. I didn't copy it. That was the thing. So I went back and I got some more information about how to upload and import in Lightroom. Apparently you have to hit copy, and I didn't do that. So when I went back, it wasn't there anymore. I mean, I have others similar, but I thought this was.
Lightroom doesn't have your picture. Your picture is somewhere on your computer.
And I'm gonna have to go in because I also have a an external like backup. I'm gonna have to look for it.
Okay, yeah, it could, because I use an external also. So it could be on there, because Lightroom is just a, it doesn't
It's like a
hold the picture.
browser.
Oh, okay. Well, it got lost in the source somewhere. I'll find it eventually.
I did the same thing with a picture once, and I can't find my original too. That's how it works. But it's a beautiful image.
But it's a great lesson in learning. I will never put anything in Lightroom ever again until I save it on my other disk.
I think,
yes.
If I may help for a second.
Please.
You never lose an image in Lightroom. It's different than Photoshop. Photoshop makes copies. Lightroom does not make a copy. It stores the calculations it applies separately, but it will never touch the original picture.
Isn't that interesting?
You have a picture, you have your original. What Lightroom shows you is your original picture plus all the applied calculations to it.
Okay.
So you can always,
well, it's somewhere.
Originals. You don't need to make a
okay.
copy, if I'm not mistaken. That's different.
Okay.
Good information.
But I don't.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, who knew? Who knew?
When I import my pictures from my, your disk from your camera, it imports into Lightroom and into my external hard drive at the same time. And it's really, the picture really lives on my external hard drive, and it's just a facsimile of my picture in Lightroom. It's not really my picture.
Is that what it means when it uploads and it's done? It makes a virtual something, because that's what it's telling me.
No, virtual is something else.
Oh, okay.
Thank you everybody for the help. Barbara,
I appreciate that. Thank you. Lots of feedback. Thank you very much.
But it's a beautiful image. Where did you take it? I missed the beginning.
This is Overlook Falls up in Beacon, right on Main Street, right behind a really nice restaurant, actually.
I don't know where Beacon is, but it's beautiful.
Beacon, New York. Probably. Oh, you know what? The next town over is Fishkill.
Oh, Fishkill I've heard of. Okay,
But
beautiful.
it's about 3 miles away from Fishkill. Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, a little different, something, yeah.
And I love the way you processed it. Very beautiful.
Sandy, thank you for your input too. So who's up next, Paul?
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody.
and Belmont.
Inc. Yeah.
Barry, you're next.
Okay.
So the floor is yours.
Yeah, these are images of a plate of copper that I have in my backyard that's been slowly oxidizing. Captured it at different points. These are close-ups of the plate of copper. So you get really a myriad of color with copper. And just, I'm aggressively abstract. So everything I do just about is abstract. except for maybe one series of.
I can't hear you.
Could you speak up just a little bit, please, Barry?
Yeah.
Much better.
These are oxidized copper close-ups, and you get a myriad of color from copper as it oxidizes. You can control it various ways, with water, with chemicals, and with heat. And the four of them are various details off one plate. And like I said, I'm aggressively abstract. Majority of my work, photography, painting, is abstract.
Very interesting.
Barry, I have a question. Well, actually, if you look behind me, folks, you can see all four of Barry's images together. And later on during our meeting, we will be walking around. Eileen will be walking around and giving you a live view of the show. But Barry, what I wanted to ask you is if you could, I know you have a background or experience in painting. And I was wondering how that informs your work.
Well, my work is about texture, color, and like I said, abstract work. I use a full palette, both in painting and in photography. Sometimes in photography, I may lean towards black and white, even though it's, the camera captures it. I don't change it to black and white. It's the image exists as a black and white image. I've been doing this a long time. Studied photography and painting in City College. I have a master's in fine arts. Like I said, except for one recent series of New York City, mainly in Chelsea, my work is mainly abstract. And like you can see here, you just got every spectrum of full color from this particular copper plate.
That's really nice. Very, very cool.
Thank you.
Beautiful image. It's where are we in the sequence, Paul?
That was the second,
Okay.
this is the third, now the fourth. I think you jumped to the fourth, Paul?
This is the 3 or 4, or the out of order?
Lost track. What was the one before this?
Hold on.
They're stunning.
Oh yeah, that's a little different. That's not copper, even though it's part of the abstraction series. In my travels to a number of museums, particularly the Metropolitan, the Roman fresco rooms, I did a detail, that one. The next one, Paul?
Huh?
Or the last one?
Got it.
No, next.
There was 4, correct?
Not that one.
That
There.
one. Yeah.
That's very cool too.
Oh,
That's a Roman fresco. Again, using the concept.
that's the wrong one.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. But that's okay. Just keep jumping around, Paul.
No,
Next. And stop.
that's it. Stop.
That's it. Stop.
All right, I was in the museum for a long time, hours and hours. It's a wonderful place, of course, to meet. It's like I said, it's a close-up of a Roman fresco, very close. I do a lot of close-ups in photography, trying to just abstract from what I see instead of being representative.
It's stunning. It's
And
beautiful.
that's the color might have been a little lighter, but that's basically, like I said, detail. And I have a number of those. And because it's so similar to the copper, I put it in the same spirit. I was there with my daughter, and every time I got close to a fresco, I'd set off for the alarm. I don't think the guards knew where it was coming from either.
Barry, can I ask a question?
Sure.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you ever get stopped by security?
No, you're allowed to take pictures in the Met. Some museums don't allow you, but most do. And again, like alarm goes off, but then I step back. Sometimes don't really.
I guess you can only get so close. No, they're extremely beautiful. They remind me of something that I tried to do. I'm a massage therapist, and I decided to paint a massage. Put a canvas on the massage table and put paint on my hands and paint a massage.
Mm.
And they came
wow.
out, I'll have to show you sometime. They came out very similar to this. And then, but what I really enjoyed was like what you were doing. Doing them painting was one thing, but actually photographing after I had painted the massage, that's what was really exhilarating. Because, and it's what you did, where you zoom in to a certain section that speaks to you.
Yeah, that sounds interesting what you're doing, and that's sort of the, the distillation of what I do with photography. With painting, I don't think quite that way. Though, it's abstraction using color and texture and form and layers and layers and layers of paint. What I have done with photography when I'm photographing my paintings is sometimes I'll take a detail of the paintings. That becomes very interesting also. It's along the lines of what you were saying.
Barry, question, do you do your own printing? And if you do, what kind of paper are you printing on?
I don't have a great printer. It's a good one. It's the Epson 74 Workforce 7420 or something. And I use Kansun and a number of other art papers. I forget all of them. But I sort of stopped printing because, I was more concentrating on painting, and find if I don't use the printer, it's a pain in the neck because you have to constantly reset all the nozzles and all that stuff. So find out that the first 2 or 3 or even a dozen prints don't come out right, then so I send them out a lot. To me, what's important is what I capture in the camera, not what I put on paper. And I go into Photoshop and I may fiddle with it a little bit, but I try to keep true to the original image. I don't change it that much in Photoshop.
Well, the illusion of texture that you created is really stunning.
Like I said, there's the overlap between painting and photography is very clear. When you see the body of my work, you'll see that there's no difference anyway. The camera is just my eye. The painting is just my hand, the brush.
These are great. I love looking at the prints. They're beautiful. It's like, I don't know the words.
Yes.
They have been a great focal point for when people first enter the back gallery.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that space, Paul. Good work. I had some stuff up there years ago when I was a member. Same spot. It's a good spot.
We'll name the wall the Barry Wall.
I don't have a problem with that. You just have to do a painting next time instead of photographs.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Great. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, everybody.
We are moving on. Christina.
Ah, that's me.
You may start when you are ready.
Okay.
Wow.
This is Cedarmere, and this place, every time I go there, I always see something different. But I've now captured this particular scene in all 4 seasons, and I think
Is everybody seeing it? Because I'm not seeing it.
Yes.
I see it.
What
I
happened to
see
mine?
I see it.
I see it.
I
Happened to
missed where
mine?
she said it took place.
Yeah, I
Cedarmere.
know, but I'm not seeing the pictures for some reason.
That's your settings then, Susan.
Seeing
If
it-
your
Yeah,
internet is
refresh.
slow, it may take a few minutes for the image to pop up.
Try refreshing.
Maybe I'll go out and come back.
Okay, I'll look for you.
Okay. Go ahead,
Wow.
Chris.
Continue.
Yeah. So every time I've been to this place, I always see something different. I was just there yesterday, but this particular scene, I have it in all 4 seasons. So, yeah, it's just so beautiful. And obviously it's autumn, and it's one of my favorite seasons. And I was thrilled when I got this exactly. And yeah, it's gorgeous. If I do say so myself.
It's a cross between a photo and a painting. It's very moody.
I love this eye surrounded by blue that you're looking through.
Oh, that's the bridge.
Oh, it's a bridge.
It's a bridge, yes.
Looks like an eye.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
well, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a bridge and the reflection of the bridge in the pond.
Okay, stunning.
That's what's really stunning, Chris. I find the reflection in the bridges, under the bridge, excuse me, is magnificent.
Thank you.
Because it's backlit, it jumps out.
Yeah. Yeah, I hit it at just the right time that day.
Absolutely.
Next.
I'm going. Chris, you still there?
Lens ball.
This is my favorite thing to take pictures of. This was Robert Moses' sunrise back in, I think it was June or July. And I love the guy, the single guy in the back there. And I have my problem with taking it of the lens ball is that you got to get down on the ground and to really get something like this. And it's just so much fun to play with. And the sky and the blue and the sand, it just was perfect.
I must tell you, I got 3 different sizes for a birthday gift.
Oh, cool.
Small, medium, and large. I can't wait to get out and start really using this. I tried last night on the boardwalk, but I almost got blown away by the storm, so I had to leave.
The small one is very cool because the small one, it's much easier to hold between 2 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And
could you, given the size of your hand, approximately what size is this?
This is like, I think it's either 60 millimeters or 80 millimeters.
How many inches?
Oh,
an apple, a cantaloupe.
Okay.
It's like the size of an orange, a good size navel orange. It's
Thank you.
The littlest one is very cool. You can hold it between your fingers like that and you know, get some really good stuff. The fingers even become a part of the photograph, you know?
Right. Yeah, they're very cool. They're very cool items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And you're right, getting down low is, unless you have the tilt screen.
I live on the 2nd floor of a 2-family house in Glen Cove. And I saw this one morning, I think it was last month or the month before last. It's the sunrise and the moonrise. And I couldn't resist. I adore this shot. And I shot it on I think I handheld it and rested the camera on the bottom of the window. Like, you know, I pulled the window down, I rested it on the windowsill thing. But yeah, I love this shot.
I have a question, Chris, because I think as a photographer, as an artist myself, I get more attached to some shots than others. And what is there about this one that makes this shot special for you?
It's the fact that I've never been able to capture something like this before, where the sun is rising and the moon has just risen, and it's perfect. I mean, the silhouette of the trees and the subtlety of the colors of the sun coming up and the blue in the sky. I'm very big on the color blue. I adore the color blue. So anything with the color blue in it, like this, just it just speaks to me. And I love the trees. The trees were just starting to bud, if you can see. And I've taken so many shots out of this particular bedroom window. I started leaving my tripod up. So that when I see it, I go, oh, throw that camera on that tripod. But yeah,
I think
you should just leave a timer on, just take pictures all night.
Yeah.
See, I like the way
Battery
the
dead.
tree. I like the way the trees frame it. Like if the
Yes.
moon was to a little to the left or a little to the right, I don't necessarily know if you get the same vibe.
Yeah.
No, it's really dead center.
Yeah. It's a new favorite of mine.
So the sun is rising and the moon is setting? Is that what it
No,
is?
the sun is rising and the moon is rising.
How could
It's
that
both
be?
at the same time.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. Doesn't one have to go up when the other one goes down?
That's what I thought.
Not always. Because that's the east. That window faces southeast, actually. So the sun's coming up on to the left, dead east, and the moon was coming up like southeast.
Chris, I have a question. Did you attend our salon member meetings prior to COVID?
No, I only attended one, and that was a bunch of months ago, and I can't remember how far back that was. But there was a salon meeting on Zoom, and I did attend that one.
Oh, I think Mark was running those.
Yes.
Thank you, Mark.
Yes. And there was only one, and there hasn't been one since.
So just to interrupt here for a second, because it kind of goes along with some of the things everybody's been talking about. When we had the salon meetings here in the actual gallery, which we will again, I thought one of the most wonderful things about it was that we might have black and white traditional prints. We might have digital prints. We had digital files. We had just, a huge variety of different kinds of presentations. Some of it was older work, some of it was work in progress that people were trying to work out the problems and getting all kinds of feedback. So Chris, it's great that you got hooked into it by being part of Mark helping us out with the salon show. So,
and I found out about it because my friend Linda, who couldn't be here tonight, her photo was selected for your last phonography show.
Linda
that Jim
Minatella?
Lennon- Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. And then once I found out back then, then that's how I got involved.
well, welcome again.
Thanks.
Pamela, what does a salon show mean?
Do you want to explain the salon, Paul? Okay, all right. For some of you who are kind of new, Photo Gallery is a collective and photographic collective. And there now are 20 gallery artist members who are in the collective. Those gallery artist members have one solo show a year and can be a part of up to 8 group shows during the year. Now, in addition to that, we run competitions that are national competitions. We have Your Best Shot. We have phonography. The salon group is totally different. Salon members are not members of the photographic collective, but they are people who share our passion and our love for discussing work. And prior to our show shutting down for 5 months because of COVID, we would meet once a month. Paul ran the meetings, and those were people who were not members of the gallery, but who, supported our gallery and came in, we had food, we shared lots of work, work. It was awesome. There could be, how many people, Paul? Like up to like 15, there could be less than.
We've had 15, 20 people at a time.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. So does anyone have any other questions about what exactly the Salon group is or foto in general?
What do you do with the Salon group? I mean, what does the group do?
Exactly what we're doing right now. People present their work and get feedback. It might be technical feedback. It might be about printing. It might be,
Feedback?
What?
Artistic feedback.
Yeah, artistic feedback. Geez, I'm thinking of Ken and Shayna and all those wonderful conversations about the narrative and why they like this and why they like that. I miss those. But it's feedback. It's in order for us to grow as photographers and to examine and what we're doing. But for me, I think it's also an excellent opportunity to be able to articulate what you're doing with your work. And I think it is just as important to be able to articulate, to speak about your work as it is to create it. So that's my take on it. Anything you want to add, Paul?
I was going to say, when Dennis used to come to the salons, Dennis is also a member of the gallery. He would bring a lot of work, and whatever work he didn't get the reaction that he wanted, he pretty much knew that the picture was not going to be in his group show or his salon show, and he would take it out. And that's how he wound up editing a lot of his bodies of work. By not getting the reaction that he wanted. He knew that picture didn't work, and that's how he took it out and went to something else.
Yeah, it was a lively group. It was awesome. So, any other questions?
Yeah, I was part of it for quite a while, and it really was very enjoyable, quite nice.
Hopefully soon we can have photos and food again.
Well, my hope is that when we have the meeting the next month, Paul, that it'll either be completely Zoom or we could be hybrid. It could be partly here and Zoom as well. There's no reason for us not to do that. The interest is there, and I sure want to see it continue.
I agree. Okay, we need to move on. Okay, Eli is not here, so I guess I'll just show his photos, and then I think we're going to go on to, I think it's Ken.
Eli has
That was
been
one
a
of my
long time.
favorite-
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Pam. That was one of my favorite photos when I walked in. I was immediately drawn to that photo.
This one, Barb?
You go back to
one
the first
before.
one, Paul.
That's it, I'm on the first one.
The fence.
I mean,
Eli has been a longtime supporter of the salon, and it's the four pieces that he has in the show are quite different. And just to throw something out there, just so we can discuss Eli's work just a little bit, I'm wondering, Paul, if you could show the four in sequence. What do you see that identifies, what's the commonality in these pieces that looks like this is part of Eli's body of work?
well, I don't think he gave me a picture of the cellist.
What?
He didn't give me a picture of the cellist.
Oh, okay. So actually, Eileen, can you go for a little tighter shot? And I don't know if we can, I don't know why it's not going to that shot. No, I mean like of the four together or not? Maybe not.
You're screen sharing, so it's not showing.
Oh,
her.
true. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Okay, so next time Eli is here, we'll go there. All right, we tried.
This is Eli's, well, what was Eli's cupcake?
That's a great name for it.
What was Eli's cupcake? Mark, there's a squirrel behind your shoulder.
Oh no, I love this picture.
This is an excellent shot. There's so many ways to perceive it. It's like the glass half empty or half full?
I think it's definitely empty.
Yeah, but he enjoyed it or she enjoyed it.
Now I went off. Oops. All right, Ken.
Sorry, everyone. I need to leave. We have.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm really awfully
Hi,
sorry.
Michael.
It's okay.
Hi, Michael.
Thank you for joining us, Michael. Hey, Gary.
Okay. Am I on here?
You're on.
All right. I don't know if I'm muted or not. Basically, I diverted because of my I don't know, the space missing because of COVID in my photography. There were no events. I didn't leave my house too much. There were no crowds, parades, streets, anything for me to photograph in my own style. And I kind of lost it. I spent a good part, almost all of it, until I did a few family things this month, not taking pictures. And I threw these three together because they kind of felt COVID-y to me. Now, I don't, for no particular reason, but they're not my style. And, but they're kind of getting to be my style a little bit because I'm playing with other stuff. And this was a place in Brooklyn. I just, was walking, it was raining, and I was making a U-turn in my car, and there I ended up right there. And I had to get out in the rain and take this picture, which is, so this is my nature shot, basically. Okay.
So this is Brooklyn looking at Manhattan?
I think, yeah, that's the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building, and no, I don't know. I don't know where I was looking. Where this is, well, I'm not sure of the geography at all, but that's not Manhattan.
Looks like College Point.
Yeah. So basically, I just went for the shot because I like the, just the tone, the mood, the overcast. It was raining and spritzy kind of rain. And I walked around for like 20 minutes just taking pictures in a circle. You can't see the other ones because I didn't show them. Of what it was right there was, there were garbage dumps and just debris left and forgotten there. It was just a little interesting landscape. So
I understand how you say it's very COVID-y. I could.
Well, it's
that.
called COVID #1. Okay.
Okay. I can feel that.
Yeah, well, there's a kind of absence that I felt. Not, this isn't when I took the picture, more so, because I didn't take it with that in mind, but more so when I was looking to edit a few things to cover my year in photography. And I realized there was no year. I was going to pull out a few cute pictures of my grandson with a mask on. I said, I'm just not going there. I just felt like you'll see the three pictures and go on to the next one. They kind of summed up my feeling. This is my landscape.
And a quick, because I had the opportunity to speak to you a couple times during this past year, that the image that was just on the screen to me seems to very effectively represent the conversations we had. And because you were in our conversations, you really talked about missing being able to get out and take images of people. And I think even just the lack of contrast, and you're like really very limited range of values here. It's like a limited experience as well.
Right. Well, I did, I know we talked about it, and I've talked about it with a few people, but man, it's like I literally spent this whole year not doing anything. I took pictures, but nothing serious, nothing where I got excited about, taking a couple of 100 shots and dealing with them. I'm always taking these friends of mine have this continuous rock and roll event all, every month or two. And I photograph that. I don't show them too much, but I love taking pictures at events. No events, so that's where I was left. And
Yeah,
this
knowing Ken as I do, through a lot of his work, this really strikes home as far as the effect of COVID on people's psyche. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I love this photo.
But only because I know you through your work. I know
Well,
your
thank
work.
you. But I looked at them a few different ways, and I didn't want these 3 pictures to come off as I'm depressed or all of this is so depressing, because I didn't spend a year being depressed. I just felt a little bit of a loss, the things we all felt. I didn't see my family, my grandkid and my children, and it was like an absence. And I didn't go to breakfast every morning with a friend. And I didn't, we all didn't do stuff this year. But the big empty space was not saying, oh man, I gotta leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning and going into Manhattan. I gotta do this thing. I gotta get my passes, and then just immerse myself in the insanity. I love that stuff. So, anyway, I'm sorry.
And you didn't just pop by photo like you used to do very frequently.
I know, because I didn't go into the store very much.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my landscape. Now here's my portrait.
It looks a little different than the portraits I'm used to from you.
Well, I took one that I really loved because we were doing some work and my son was there, my 20-some-odd-year-old son, and he's a great, like stand over there. He's a great for that kind of thing for me. And I had him stand next to this thing, and he was perfect in every way, but his eyes and his kind of expression just didn't make the cut. And I took 2 pictures, instead of 40. So I missed that shot, which I would have preferred, but his expression wasn't right. Then I looked at this and I said, that does it. So, but it follows. That's also called pandemic number 2. Okay.
That's what's next.
Pandemic number 3, I assume. Yeah. So, and this one, I don't know, I debated whether this fit or not. It's just the same kind of thing. It's like loss. It's like, demolition. It's like, I don't know. It's just like what was and not is. I don't know. I don't want to get too deep about it. It's a bunch of sinks.
It's COVID.
COVID sink. But I just like it because, again, it's not what I do. And I just thought when I took that picture, it hit me in a way. And I'm trying to take a few more pictures of that style. Am I still on?
Yes.
Okay. I went to Heckscher Park yesterday and I took pictures of the ducks and the baby swan, the baby, what do you call them, geese, and a fish in the pond. I said, it's just not me, but I'm having a little fun with it. That's all. And when I start putting them up against the people who I kind of think have the real talent in these directions, like Mark, but my camera club friends, some of them are brilliant photographers of birds and animals, and I don't cut it. I try sometimes, but I can't get close to that kind of photography.
And I think this, I'm going to give you a different title for this. This is Portrait of Sinks. And the hierarchy of who is the most important sink is interesting to me, and how you've positioned it.
Which one? Which is
most definitely the one that is coming forward with.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't position it. I positioned me. They were sitting there.
Yeah.
It was actually a great
may?
shoot, just for people who, try and think of different shoots. I was there by accident visiting a friend, and it's a salvage place in Brooklyn, and it's run by by the city, and literally they probably get calls all day long for renovated apartments, and it's just all the surplus from the stuff that they gather. And there was like an area of like 25 antique and old and rusty and used radiators. And there was just a lot of interesting little groupings. And I took lots of pictures around, and it was a nice time of taking pictures. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I did anything, you know, I don't consider any of them really great. I don't know. I just think they're okay.
Ken, can I interject?
Sure.
Can I argue with you on the second one? Knowing, I
Yeah.
mean, I only know you a short time, but from the time that we've had salons together and looking at your event portraits of the children and the adults and how you captured them, you captured it in that animal with the one eye. You know what I'm saying?
You
And if
do know
think
it's
about
not
it
alive,
from
right?
Yeah, but from a
Matter.
but from a COVID perspective, it's alone. It's got one eye, so it can only see out of half an eye. It's just standing there like it's lost, like it doesn't know what to do. And we felt that. We were one-eyed, we were alone, and we didn't know what to do. It's lost. And that's your photography. Sometimes you capture that emotion in your people and your events. And I think you caught it here.
Well,
The lighting is even great.
Thank you.
Even the lighting is great. I mean, I don't know if I'm being too deep and being silly about being.
No, it was
but that's
as
what I
they
feel with
say in
this
my
particular
camera
photo.
club, Mark would know that what they say, they call this a grab shot. I mean, I was like, we were loading my van, my son and I, from this house. A little to the left of the photo is the front door. This is their front yard, and this is how they decorated their front yard. And we were loading the car, and I'm like, we're really working, you know, it was a job. And I saw this when I was going in, and I said, I'm not leaving here without this picture. And it just struck me because of the isolation and the kind of decay. You know, I did a photo essay a few years ago. We went on vacation, and we went to Dinosaur Land. And, you know, it was one we had gone to with our kids 20 years before. And it was all, everybody's seen them, I think. The paper mache, not paper mache, but whatever they are, those composition dinosaurs out in a field and everything. And what captured me was the decay. They were just all falling down and chipped, and, you know, they've been there since the 50s. And that's what I'm attracted to, decay, I guess.
Who would want to take pictures of that?
What?
Who would want to take pictures of that stuff?
No, you don't. You know, the problem is you make that stuff look beautiful. You don't. I look at it, you know, first I want to put a person in. I should carry this thing around with me. I'm going to put a person in there, but I want to capture the decay, and you somehow take it to a different level. The level I couldn't succeed at is to make it look beautiful, artistic, beautifully lit. You know, I would just kind of do this to it. So
It makes you feel better. I can't do what you do. I wouldn't
not that we can't all do what each other does, right? We don't all do the same stuff.
Ken, I could see a time when you start cropping your images and adding layers of effects to it. It opens up a whole world for you.
Not happening.
Thank you. We got to move on. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Laura Jane?
She
had
had
to
to
leave.
go.
She left? Oh.
Yeah, she had to go.
Oh my God.
Jane's lovebirds.
Oh my God, that lovebird. I'm gonna cry.
I don't know Lauren Jane's work. Does anyone know her body of work?
I know she was taking pictures of people's pets before the pandemic, or at least that's where she wanted to do some of her commercial work.
Cool.
But I haven't seen anything in a long time from her.
They're beautiful. Mark, is she with the Huntington Camera Club?
No.
No? I don't know her at all.
I met her through the salon.
Oh, that's a shame. I would have liked to hear what she had to say.
I'm sorry we missed her.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful pictures.
Yeah, they really are.
And Linda is not here either, correct?
No. Linda was also in our Your Best Shot pushpin. And excuse me.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, yes.
Gamecock Cottage.
I'm
Out in
sorry,
Suffolk.
what cottage is that?
Gamecock Cottage.
Zen Heights.
If you stand by the Three Village Inn and look out at a particular corner, you see Gamecock Cottage.
Wow.
It's
And
beautiful.
where is this?
Stony Brook.
West Neck Beach.
Really?
If you walk West Neck Beach,
Mhm.
I think it's West Neck Beach, and a certain way you'll find it.
If you go
Yeah,
through
this
Stony,
one really caught my eye.
Yeah, it's
if
beautiful.
you go through Stony Brook, you go past their shopping center there. It's all the way like to the end. You go past all that, you go into the parking lot and you just go down
Yeah.
and you come.
It used to be the Three Village Inn. It's a restaurant.
Oh,
I don't know what the name is now. And if you walk past the yacht club and you stand and look out, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, I have a lot
Beautiful.
of pictures of it.
Mm.
I love it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's magnificent.
That is
Beautiful.
magnificent.
I'm looking at my window from my office. The sky looks similar to what that looks like.
And that's Cedarmere.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm going to interrupt
Wow.
here for just a little bit to say something about Linda's work because she presented it very differently than everybody else did in the show. And Paul, if you could back up maybe to the first one, if that's not too difficult. Her prints are actually very small. They're about 5 by 7 inches. And they really invite the viewer to walk up and get very close to the work to view it intimately. And they're presented as a really charming group of 3 images together. As I said, much smaller than the other work. So it's a different experience than what you see on the screen right now. And they work very successfully. Eileen is walking over now to take if you can see the screen there, she's taking a shot of the 3 together.
You have to stop screen sharing.
I can see it.
Don't worry,
Oh.
it'll show up. When we edit, it'll show up.
Yes. Any other comments?
No, it's gorgeous.
I'd love to know how she processed it because the sky is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Who's next, Paul?
I think it's. And, oh, it's Lori. Lori, you still here?
I'm still here.
Awesome. Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
All right, Lori, you're up.
Well, I really have not taken any pictures this year. So done, things around the house, my granddaughter, some family portraits. So my incentive actually when you announced the show was to print some pictures from a trip I went down to Argentina to Patagonia. So I had never printed it and a few of them, so I wanted to print them. So I had been invited to a wedding. My cousin got married in Buenos Aires, and my sister and I decided to make a trip all the way down, to the Cape Horn and the Magellan Straits and over to like Patagonia, which is just all about nature, and it was magnificent. So I was, this is one of the pictures. This is in Chile, actually. It's Torres del Paine. It's part of Patagonia. And this is called cloud lenticular. It look like smokestacks. There's only certain places in the world that this formation of cloud, this type of cloud exists. So
Really?
this is what those type of clouds are. And these are these amazing, amazing rock formations.
this is stunning, Lori. Can you give us some sense of scale?
Oh, it's huge. This is a mountain range. It's humongous, and they're
Wow.
high. And there's like actually different colors of granite. People really talk about how, you know, the earth was pushed up and what different kind of granites and the lava and how it was formed, like the earth was formed by looking at these mountains. And there's snow
Wow.
mountains. It's humongous mountain range.
They're like painting brushstrokes.
Yeah, it looks very.
Where were you when you shot this? I mean, in relationship to like on another mountain, on a like what?
We were on a road, and I don't really remember exactly because we circled this entire mountain range, and we got off and we went climbing and we were doing different parts and hiking. But you know, it's huge, so you see it from many different angles.
I look at this, I think Ansel Adams,
Definitely.
very similar.
Well, I never
Just
did
spectacular.
understand the sound system, but I know about it.
Beautiful.
Lori, was there any manipulation done post-processing?
Basically, it's a color picture, and I did, you know, transfer it to black and white, and I just enhanced it. I didn't really do much else besides just bring out, you know, the tone and the colors that I liked. You know, the darker, like the green. Sometimes I make darker. You know, I can control the different colors in the picture, and the sky being blue, I could emphasize the clouds.
Yeah, the clouds are just magnificent. The texture of the clouds they're like brush strokes.
Yeah, they're amazing, these clouds. We saw them a few times in this part of the world, and, you know, especially at sunset with the different colors. And they were just, you know, they're like smokestacks, like an Indian doing these smoke, you know, they're telling you a, you know, message.
The print at the gallery is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the print is just as gorgeous as the image on the screen.
Yes, I have to agree 100%.
This one actually is not Patagonia. This is something I just thought I'd put in that's local. I've always liked water towers. I'm from California, and they don't really have water towers. Not like they do back east. There's water towers everywhere here. And this was done with an iPhone, and it's from Thompson Park, so I just kind of liked it. I enhanced it, tried to make it a little more gritty.
It's an interesting contrast in composition next to the landscape on the wall. I like seeing them together and noticing the like I said, there's a lot of differences that are interesting.
Next comes one of my favorites. The llama. Lori, want to tell us about
This
your
one's
llama?
back to Patagonia. We stopped because there's this herd of they call them guanacos there. It's a type of llama off to the right, and there's a whole herd of them. And I'm trying to I see this road, and I'm photographing this road because I love this long winding road. And all of a sudden, it was like carte-bresson, the decisive moment. This one llama just crossed the road, and I started running because I had to be in the perfect spot, get the road, get the llama, and I did it. So, you know, it was
Actually,
like
yeah,
defined
perfectly,
moment in
perfectly.
time.
You got his legs in the
I
right
think-
spot.
You got the shadow, you've got the rim lighting, you've got it all.
Yeah, because we got off the bus and there are all these people behind me, and I didn't want them in the picture, and I had to run in front of them, like block them out. So it was definitely the decisive moment to like get this. And I was thinking of it while it happened. So that's never happened to me before. So
I like this. I like the title of the photo too.
but why did the llama cross the road?
Is that actually the title?
The other
Yes.
side.
Anybody else? Anything else, Lori?
No, so those are, you know, I have a lot more from Patagonia, but these were the two that I printed. I'm really glad I did because it's really nice to see a printed picture and not always see everything on the screen. You know, it just translates differently.
I like the choice of putting this in black and white. It really makes it very unique. You don't have the distracting colors.
I also made this small, I wasn't sure, I kind of wanted you to look into it, but after I saw it on the wall, I wasn't sure, but, I don't know what your impact of the having
No,
it.
I liked it small. I saw it at the gallery. I think it was really, I really liked it small.
Well, it's also interesting to see it in relationship to Ken's piece because they are adjacent to each other.
Really?
Yes,
The lawn deer?
yes,
Yes, the lawn is actually walking away from the lawn deer.
yes.
That's why he crossed the road. Get away from Ken.
Eileen is walking over to give you a bit of a view to see how they are positioned.
I think Alan's phone just died.
Okay.
We good? Lori?
Yeah, that's, about it. So, I've actually been painting. I haven't really been doing much photographing, but still love photography. Always have, always will.
Thank you. Mark, you're up.
Cool.
Who's behind you now? Who's an owl behind you?
Yeah, so lately I've been
Oh, wow.
doing a lot of wildlife photography, eagles, owls, foxes, squirrels. But for the salon pinup, I decided to go back to my landscapes, which I've also reworked a lot of them. This one is actually taken one foggy morning when I was walking along the Delaware Canal Trail in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. So I was out early in the morning, and there's this trail that just follows this canal, and the light was phenomenal with the fog. And this picture and another picture I entered, I was trying to create an effect and a feeling that I get when I'm looking at the Hudson River School of Artists, when I'm looking at their paintings, where they created this magnificent light, really of a fantasy environment that looks natural.
You took the words out of my mouth, Mark. Very successfully done.
Thank you. So I kept going back and reworking this until I got it the way I like, until I want it. Very hard to print. Like, it's very easy to see it on the screen. The printing, I went through like maybe 15 pieces of paper to get it right.
The print is gorgeous.
Mark, what programs did you use?
Mostly Photoshop. Maybe I
Okay.
used some Topaz, but mostly Photoshop and different layers in Photoshop.
Well,
It's
I've been
magnificent.
doing a lot of my stuff in sepia or tan or whatever the colors you see there. I'm not sure what they are, but this is the color I want, and I never seem to be able to find it.
Mhm. Yeah, I took this in October of 2020, and I actually desaturated the colors to get them how I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
Which is unusual for me. Usually I'm pushing up the vibrance.
Yeah,
No, this is that whole, turn of the century kind of Stieglitz, and those guys used, I don't know, maybe they didn't use it, maybe it just came out that way. But this is that tone that I can't find it. Let's say I can't get that sweet spot for it. I mean, I like the way the tones I get. I don't dislike them, but it's not this is it.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Ken,
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
This is Tom Demick. Most of the images are soft and dreamy. The deer, did you?
Mark, move, excuse me,
clarity and
Tom, move a little
sharpness to
closer
the deer
to your
specifically?
microphone.
We're losing you. I can't.
Yeah, I am pretty close. I have a weak connection in my
Okay.
bedroom.
You sound good now.
Most of the image is very soft intentionally, which is a good thing. But the deer, did you add clarity to the deer and sharpness?
Yeah, I do very selective editing, and in this picture, both with the light and with the sharpness, the area that's sharp is actually the foreground leading up to the deer, and everything else is blurred out in terms of sharpness. So when I do most of my edits, I put them on layers and I mask out where I don't want the effect to be. So it's selective sharpening.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Mark, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Since I'm actually seeing the gallery shot on the wall as opposed to this one, the one on the wall is a little more saturated. Was that on purpose? Or is it
One of
just
the walls a
mine?
little more saturated.
The print is.
Yeah, because I couldn't get it exactly right when I was printing it.
I wasn't sure if it was my monitor that I'm looking through, or if that was intention, or if it was just.
Yeah, I really wanted it more subdued, I think, than
I
when
mean,
I
they're
had it.
beautiful both ways.
What
You don't really often get to see the original file next to the print.
Right.
What kind of paper did you print on, Mark?
I was using Red River Polar Satin.
I'll tell you just a quickie thing, because somebody, Ken, you were talking about this tone. I don't know what your workflow is, but I know my work tends to be very monochrome, very, like I like the sepia tones too. And a trick for me that always works, if you work in Photoshop a lot, is to duplicate your layer and make it a grayscale layer, and then go to your layer modes and throw it into like a soft light, or and it will, or some of the other ones work as well, and it will tone that right down. You won't lose all of the color, but it'll give you a lot of what you see on the screen when you first start to, when you manipulate the opacity.
Okay.
It's an easy trick.
Okay, I'll try that.
Say it again, Pam.
You duplicate the image, and then in the layer on top, make that layer a grayscale image, and reduce, desaturate it completely, and then play with your opacity, and also try your different layer modes.
Right,
trying
mode.
soft light, shift those around, and then of course, if you can mask out, you can erase out where you want the image to be more saturated. It's an easy fix to do.
Yeah, I definitely tried it.
And it will work conversely if you make it like a dodge mode. It'll pop up the color in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
I love Photoshop.
So I would say
Everybody does.
30 to 50% of my work is taking the picture, and 30 to 50, and then the rest of it is Photoshop, is creating my vision and my feeling of what I saw when I took the picture.
I'm in the same boat. I try to shoot with the finished product already in my head and knowing how I'm going to edit before I even take the shot.
Yeah. So this is actually a grab shot. So I grabbed this a couple of years ago when I was still working in 2011, December 2011. I was going down the hill from work, and I passed Quandra Hall, and I saw this light on the boathouse as I was passing it, and I happened to have my camera in my car, which I often did when I was going to work. And I just turned around and went back up the hill to the Quandra Hall mansion. And I took a bunch of pictures from the top of the hill, looking down at the boathouse and the light, the Huntington light. And I did a lot of manipulation here. But the light itself was just magnificent. So I added the birds, by the way.
And nicely done. That's that magic moment that you look for when you're driving and you jump out of your car.
Yeah, Most of the time you don't stop, but when you do, you're always rewarded.
Oh, man, I always stop.
Yeah, I got to work late that day, but it was worth it.
Mark, excuse me. Mark,
Sure.
are those real birds on the left side at the top?
They're real, but I took them from another picture and I added them in.
Is the one behind you real?
Yes, the one behind me is a baby owl that I took this spring.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of wildlife.
Yeah, I've been seeing them on Instagram. They're amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Your Eagle series that you've been shooting is amazing.
Yeah, the light has been really well. What happened with the eagle nest is that it came down during a storm and they rebuilt it in another tree. And the second tree they built it on, there's a road you can go on where you get an unobstructed view of it. At least you could in the spring when the leaves weren't out. And so it was very fortuitous. So this is actually a picture I took at Ricketts Glen, which is a very popular waterfall area. There's I think it's a 9-mile hike. There are 21 waterfalls in this 9-mile hike. And this is an HDR shot consisting of three pictures that I use bracketed exposure and then merge them together. And once again, just trying to get that Hudson River feel of how they handle the light and, you know, just the natural scenery. And this is one of my favorite shots.
Mark, are you familiar with the work of Karen Kleindienst?
No.
KLI. She was our juror for our national show, and her it's KLINDINST. She does work with a lot of filters, but she's her work is just about all of it is based on the Hudson River School, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
She's mostly an iPhone user, right?
Pardon me?
She's mostly an iPhone user, right?
I can't understand.
iPhone?
Yes, she does shoot with her phone.
Okay.
That's beautiful, Mark. Just beautiful.
Yes. Mark, what was? Can you just give us a little technical setup here on your camera?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's slow shutter speed. I'm taking it on a tripod. I'm bracketing between 3 and 5 shots.
Okay.
About,
are you letting Photoshop do the merge, or are you doing it?
No, I'm letting Photoshop do the merge.
Okay.
Photoshop is actually really good as far as stitching images together to get panoramics and also for doing HDR. So I used to use Google, one of the Nick, I think one of the Nick tools had it, but that was really old and Photoshop just got better and better at it. So when I reworked this, I used Photoshop.
That's beautiful. That light at the top really makes the shot.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I added that.
Now you just ruined
it. It's the vision that I had. I mean, the light was coming through the background, but I wanted to extend it into the picture. So.
Is Mark our last person?
No, Robin's our last person.
Oh, is Robin here?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Great.
So is there anything else that you wanted to add, Mark?
No, that's it. Thank you very much.
I want to personally thank you also for running the Zoom when you did.
I only did 3 or 4 of them, and then I got distracted, and the whole COVID thing really started hitting home. But
Yeah.
I really enjoy being with the salon and helping out where I can, and you know, just great to be part of the community.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mark. Robin, you there?
I am.
You're up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Hello.
Hello?
Robin?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
sorry, I'm like, it's cutting in and out here.
Okay, you're up, Robin.
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm sorry that I was really late to this. I just got out of work. So I'm going to talk about all three of these pieces together because that's kind of the flow of them. So my background is in history, and part of what I look at and concerns my work is the popular perception of specifically mental hospitals and persons who receive treatment within. So my work, it hopes to be a kind of a visual outlet of that, what has shaped people's perception of some of these places. So it's less interested in introducing viewers to the history behind these places and more interested in the viewers introducing me to their history with these places, specifically what has shaped your own interpretations of these places. So I don't really have a specific meaning behind each of these pieces. I do want to mention that I had numbered each of these pieces 1, 2, 3. So this being number 1, Paul, if you want to, or whoever's monitoring us, go to the second one.
Oh, yeah.
I did. This is number 2.
I'm still seeing the wheelchair.
Did you go through on your end?
There we go. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So I had labeled this one 2, and then the following one, if it's not too much trouble.
It went through. I think it's taking a minute to cycle on your end.
Yeah, no worries. And the last one I had labeled 3, and I didn't label them as this, as far as sequence goes, it's just more organization. But what I noticed was afterwards that the numbers correlated with each piece. This one was 3, there's 3 Bibles. The one with the room, the 2 pair of shoes jumped out of me. And the first one with the wheelchair, 1 singular. So that's kind of the story I had behind them. So I like to leave my pictures open to interpretation, and yeah, that's all I got. It's great to see everybody, by the way.
Yeah, great to see your work, Robin. I love your work.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Robin, I'll say this. I've known you for 2 years now, maybe. And your work is like night and day compared to where you started to now.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. It was echoing really badly. I'm sorry.
Put the mic closer.
Is that better?
Yes, yes.
Much better?
Yes, much better.
So I was going to say, I've known you for at least 2 years, right?
3 years.
3 years?
2018 was the first time we went out.
So watching you from then to now is like night and day. It's incredible. And I'm sure Pam can agree with me on this.
Absolutely. The images, let's see if this makes sense. This is my reaction to your images now. I see the images through your eyes now more than I used to. The place isn't in isolation. Your stamp is on it. It's the emotion of the place, I think, is somehow part. I feel part of you in the images. Now, would I feel that if I didn't know you? I think there's some humanity that's present in the images.
You know, it's funny because I was with her for 2 of those 3 shots, and her and I see things similarly, but we see things differently. And you see somebody else's shot and you go, why didn't I see that one? Or why didn't I think of that? And the one with the Bibles, it's like the one I look at and I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
Robin, were these all just the way they were, or did you stage any of it?
I mean, I will say, like, I did scoot the wheelchair over from where it initially was. It wasn't located. It was located like what you're looking at. The end of the hallway, it opens up to a larger room. So the wheelchair was on the right side of the room. So I just kind of scooted it to the center. And it's funny because I had shot this same shot with and without the wheelchair, and I edited it the exact same way. And for me, it just worked better with the wheelchair there.
Absolutely.
The wheelchair really makes the image.
It does, it anchors it.
Yeah, I
And the one
agree.
with the shoes, were the shoes there?
Yes, that whole room was as is. Whether anybody moved it before I got there, which is really interesting when you think about these places. We say that they're abandoned, yet people come in and continuously move stuff. So we're creating new layers of both life on top of life on top of abandonment. So those shoes probably were moved there by somebody else, and I'm sure somebody who came in after me might have moved them as well. So it really contests the idea that these places are, quote, abandoned when we keep using them in different ways. So that's something I find super interesting with these places. Are they really abandoned? I would say no, to an extent.
Did you say
No, because there's different.
psychiatric hospital? Robin,
Excuse me?
did you say this was a psychiatric hospital?
Yes.
Which one?
I mean, it was a hospital at one point, yes.
I worked in a psychiatric hospital for 40 years.
Oh, cool. I mean, the work I'm doing right now, I'm doing my PhD in history, and I focus on the social history of mental hospitals, specifically in the state of New York. So
okay,
medical facilities, I have like a natural inclination for, and I'm hoping to in the future fuse both the visual and the written word to create a project together dealing with this type of idea, popular perception, not only of hospital and people who receive treatment within, but also kind of how these spaces are situated within our present and how they're engaged with and perceived. So
Can I say? Oh, sorry. Can I say something about this shot?
Of course.
The more that hi Robin, I miss you. I miss seeing you in person.
Miss you too.
And congratulations on, getting through school, or part of it anyway. I look at this photo and I'm listening to you describe everything that you're feeling and everything that's happening right now currently, with the way that we don't deal with people's mental illnesses. And there's a lot out there. I'm looking at this, and this just really, you could put this in the newspaper tomorrow, and it would really depict what's going on in our country right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I don't know when this happened. I don't know how old this is, this building and such, but you look at it, and this is what I feel. I look at this and I'm like, wow, this is what is happening now. We don't address it. We don't talk about it. We don't think about it. We don't do anything about it, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
It's something that needs to be addressed, and nobody wants to touch it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, over the when the pandemic started last year, I actually got my certification in crisis counseling. So I've also been, doing the good deed and helping people out as needed. And, it's so satisfying and sad when people say like, oh, thank you for being here. I don't have anyone to talk to, whether it's they're having a really tough day and they just need to vent, or whether it's a more high risk situation and they really need help. The question always becomes like, what's the next step? And, you look, just having my background in history, studying this stuff for years, the questions are still there. Most scholars, when they write about this subject, they usually end their book saying like, where do we go from here? And, that's been a common trend. So the question is like, what does happen next?
Right.
One of the things that I used to say to my students, and I think it's true of my own work, is that I think our images that we create are as much about what we leave out as what we put in. There's no accidents in the choices that we make and how we set up our shots. I often wonder, I think it would be fascinating to have conversations with what brings different people to shoot in these places, and the layers of involvement, because it's not just like the place in its pure form when it was first abandoned. Like you said, it's been changed over so many visits from people. It's fascinating.
Robin, I'm not sure if
Did you
could
put the
see-
glass in?
No, this was exactly how I found it. I actually kind of kicked myself because I didn't get the entire Bible. It's cut off a little bit at the end there. But that's just me being a stickler for wanting to get the entire image in the shot. But I think it just, I'm okay
It
with
works.
it.
It
Yeah.
works beautifully.
Thank you.
Paul, can you go back to
I
the,
love the bottom Bible, how it's frayed from
Yes.
usage, and it really
Mhm.
adds age to the image.
could you go back to the first shot, Paul, please?
Yeah,
Oh, no, the,
you said the first one.
the one with the shoes.
That's the second one.
Well, I'm looking at the wall.
I love the
I-
wallpaper.
Yeah,
My wallpaper.
this is so beautifully lit. It almost seems like a formal shot of place. I think this is my favorite of all of them because the light is just so gorgeous in so many
Lighting
different
is
areas.
nice.
Yeah, I was admittedly like a little indifferent with this shot because I don't like places that are super clean that look like, oh, somebody just went on vacation. They haven't come home for a week and dusted. You know, I like to see places with like nice vibrant textures and the paint peeling, etc. But just, I don't know, something with this image, I just kept going back to it, working on it. And then when I finished it, I was like, all right, there's something to this story.
It's the light, it's the blinds, it's the photos of on the counter, the shoes, the suitcase,
The shoes, it's the
that rug.
shoes.
The chair falling apart, you know.
Actually, Robin, you said that there were 2 pairs of shoes?
Oh, and then like, I was saying two pairs of shoes as in like 2 shoes. So my bad. I got.
Oh, 2, okay.
My
No, that's fine. Just as long as I'm not like seeing it. I don't think if you could see in the background there, but there's your piece. Right.
Oh, it's over there?
Yeah, you can't see it, but it's there. I love it. I love your work.
Oh, thank you.
I think Eli popped in.
Oh, awesome.
How long is this going to be open for?
The show comes down this Saturday.
Okay.
On Sunday, Eileen Novak's solo show, Form and Texture ends, and Dennis Ostrovsky's Fatal to Prejudice also ends. So the gallery will be closed on Sunday for everything to be deinstalled, the walls prepped for new shows.
I think I saw Eileen's and I forgot the other one's name.
Dennis Ostrovsky.
Yeah, I saw that in person, but this I had 2 surgeries this month. I couldn't get there.
Well, these were up at the same time.
No, these are in the back, Sandy.
They're in the back.
You went in the back, didn't you? Yeah, you went in the back.
I did go in the back.
Yeah, these were in the back.
These were both shown at the same time.
But I've had 2 cataract surgeries, so I didn't see them very well. Because that's my wallpaper. Only the background on mine is a Chinese red.
Oh, right, that's right.
It's throughout my whole house and the front of the whole house, except the bedrooms.
Oh, that's funny.
Everybody, I'd like to say goodbye. I have to go, but it was really a wonderful discussion, and I'm really glad that I could be a part of the show.
Thank you for
Thank
joining,
you.
Lori.
Do we have, before everybody says goodbye, is Eli here?
Yeah, I just popped in. I'm sorry to be so late. I actually had a doctor's appointment around 7 o'clock. So, you know, but I joined you for a couple of minutes. That's good enough, I guess.
I don't see Eli, do you?
I see.
I hear him.
I hear him.
He doesn't have his cam on.
Oh, okay.
Is that a train
I
station
don't know why.
outside the window?
Yeah, I can see that it's like a, what do you call, like a ghost. Yeah, I'm not showing up. I don't know why.
Do you have your video turned on, Eli?
Maybe it's only the video. I mean, I don't know what happened here. I'm not even sure.
You have to start the video.
Yeah,
Usually,
you need to click on start video.
huh? All right. Let me see again. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Now?
There you are.
Yes,
Yes,
Oh,
very
yes,
dark,
we can see you.
Thank
super
you. Thank
dark.
Are you hiding, Eli? You're in the dark.
you. No, it's no. I'm sitting in the backyard enjoying my what do you call the good job I did on my backyard with all the flowers that still did not show up. So just enjoying a little bit the evening, as we say. All right. So here
Can
I
you
am.
see
Yeah,
your images?
yeah I can see the crumbs, the cake crumbs.
I love this
Great
image.
picture.
The wonderful shot, Eli.
Thank you. I tell you what it was. I think one day I was, that's in Huntington in Panera. I was sitting there and I guess it's around noontime. The sun was in the window and I'm just sitting kind of enjoying the minute, the sipping. I don't know, just suddenly I'm looking at my plate and I said, wait a minute, this could make a good shot. And I did probably about 10 shots, give or take. And I was trying to cut the glare and I didn't Photoshop it. I mean, there's very little photoshopping here, but I didn't, the way I took it, there's a little bit of glare on the side. That's where the sun coming in through the window. And I also had to lower the camera in an angle so I don't get the part of the window, like the edge of the window, whatever it is, the street actually. So I kind of felt okay for me. And then I looked at it a few times and I said, let me make an enlargement of it. I really liked it. So I submitted it. I actually like this photograph. So more or less on this line.
Now, did you enjoy that piece of muffin or whatever it was?
Oh yeah, it's a muffin. Yeah. Of course.
No, because my perception of it, to be honest with you, Eli, it goes back and forth. I mean, I like this shot tremendously because it's the emptiness and the void
Right.
that I see. And then I saw, well, whoever ate it must have really enjoyed it.
Yes.
But my initial take of it was the crumbs.
Right. But actually, it was really the visual part of looking at it. I wasn't like building a story here, if you understand what I'm saying. I was just sitting there and I always like to, I tell you what it is really, honestly, meaning I saw it in black and white. The color didn't really matter here. And I even made a change to black and white, and I don't know, somehow I stuck with the color. So I was looking at the shadows, the little points, the crumbs with the little shadow, if you enlarge it. And it kind of fell together for me, with the edge around, if you notice, not completely, and something with the light and shadow, the play of it, That's how I looked at it. Yeah, I mean, I think that was the ideal scenario when brings me back. I mean, I'm not such an old timer, but you can put 50 years there. so, so the black and white still, has a little bit, reminiscing on it with it. So that's what it is, really. I didn't want to I wasn't like I enjoy everything till the last crumb. Oh, I'm sorry, there's few crumbs. Let me finish it. No, it wasn't one of those.
No, but that's the whole essence of photography or art, is that people perceive it and sometimes they project their own stuff onto it.
I'm glad I put it up there and you guys accepted it. And of course, the explanation or whatever, the visual thing that you guys see, it's incredible. I didn't even think this way, Yeah, you could be put, oh, I'm so sorry, a little bit more. I could use another one, one of those. I don't know what, whatever the title, you know what I'm saying. This one, that's a good one. This just came up somehow. I was looking at, we went to Morocco, with a group, right? Oh. And Morocco is great for photographers, I think, on the outdoors, obviously. And I also understand that nature photography, there's lots of it there, but that's like a special trip. So we stopped, I think was like a noontime stop. And there was like every time there's a square, there's somebody showing, and you always have to make sure you have some change in your pocket, values of like quarter, when you translate it to their money. So you got plenty of those in your pocket. And this guy looked at me and so here's this schmuck, I can get him some money from him. And he came, no, I'm just kidding, of course, I'm not like mad or something. And he came and he actually kind of put the snake on me and it's a little bit slimy, not too bad.
Yeah.
So,
Let me
but-
interrupt here a second. I think I was in Morocco in 1969,
Oh, wow.
and I think I have a picture of this guy.
Well,
He had a
look-
snake around a tourist's neck, and I took a picture of him with the two tourists.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know.
has
Maybe I
yeah.
gotta find this picture.
Look,
now.
yeah, go make a little clean.
But the point that he put it around the tourist's neck, it was like it's the same story. I guess it's a thing.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, unfortunately,
What are the chances?
okay, this is only a snake. It's no big deal, but they have little monkeys where they keep them on chain. It's kind of, we're not used to this. Yeah, and and the monkeys are baby. These are like baby monkeys, which are local, not like chimpanzee. They have there's some monkeys there. When you go to another town or another village, you'll see them all over and you give them peanuts. And this is a little scam with the tourists. You feed them and the guy gets money and the monkeys enjoy and you enjoy. One of those. So this guy has a snake, couple of boxes or couple of cake. No, it's boxes actually. And lucky me, I think the perspective, the way the angle I was shooting just fell right. I was sitting or bending or kneeling, like on my knees, I forget right now. And I was looking at him, and there's a guy. This was Photoshop. My friend helped me out with this. There's a guy sitting behind in a wheelchair. He was disabled, but I had no other choice because it was just straight in his face. I think that was the only good angle, and I did what I did, and I was aiming at him, like looking at that, and then he comes with the snake. Kind of touches me on and I was okay. I didn't care. And I gave him extra money for this. And I shot maybe 3-4 shots. And I forgot about it really. And then one day I was looking and not so long ago. And I said, you know what? This might be a neat shot. Not because of photo, just in general. And, I was a little blurred out the background and his missing teeth. And I think that even in black and white, you can get even stronger effect with this. But this is kind of neat. This is like the typical tourist, shot, out in the market, right? I think so.
I'll tell you, Eli, it's Barbara. I would have paid him extra money to keep the snake around his neck. I'd have
Yeah,
cut it
I
off
agree
and put
with
it
you
on
on
me.
that. Yeah.
No, you have to be there. You have to be.
I would have had a cardiac attack.
I know.
He would have got paid $25 to keep that snake near him.
Yeah, he could buy for $25 another 10 snakes, of course. But anyway, this is a little story behind it. I was heading out to Banff, Canada, and a stopover. This is Seattle, I believe. And somebody said to me before, go to the library. So I'm not sure if you guys ever been there. I suggest to stop and look at this. I think it was like on a weekend. And inside it's really, really modern. The building, okay, so let me tell you what you're looking at quickly before even. What you see is from a second floor shooting down towards, I guess it's the first floor. I'm not sure. It might be from third to the second through some kind of a mesh net, because if you look carefully, it looks a little meshy. And the red is the bottom, I think, of the mesh net. And it's part of the, what do you call it? The design there, whatever the architects were doing. You do see in the back on the grid is part of the ceiling, which the whole building has it. And I've seen it on television by the little quick segment about interesting building, I guess, in America. But this library is really, really odd. It's super modern. And what you see was just, again, the differences, what do you call it? The structure, whatever I was looking at. So obviously the sharpness had to be on the front and the rest is a little blurry. But overall, you can see different things there. It has all these different looks, what do you call it? Different shapes to it. I shot more. There's a couple of other interesting things, but I thought maybe this would be interesting to show it, that's all. And I recommend to go and look at this place, at this library, if you guys stop in Seattle, make a point. The other thing, one more thing, I'll talk quickly into it. It's the first time I noticed, I guess they're very liberal. The town the city is very open-minded. So you have homeless people, a bunch of them. a bunch of them standing waiting to the library to be open. Yeah, it was the weekend, I think, maybe like 11 o'clock. And they walk in with dogs. They walk in pretty shabby. When I see a homeless, unfortunately, we always think about somebody that is asking money and looks shabby. This was a little bit more than this. There was a woman, just quick, younger person, maybe in the 20s. She was basically only with the bra and the underwear and covered with the blanket. And that's how they let her in. There's security there. And it's always like this. And all they do is they go straight to the computers. They sit down by the stations, by the monitors. So go figure, I don't know if, it's a little bit strange. I don't know if you can get used to it. I think here in New York, we don't have it.
Is this right in the city of Seattle?
I guess maybe we would call it downtown Seattle. It's, I don't remember exactly what it is, because in Seattle, we have all these tourist attractions, the market and this and that.
Yes, I was just there a couple of years ago. I just
Okay,
said to my husband, if we go back, we're going to go here.
Well, the market is really, but it's packed with people. The market is like claustrophobic, In the market, you probably can shoot every day, all day long.
Yes.
Or you decide not to shoot photographs because it's so packed.
I was there very early in the morning when they were setting up.
Right, but it's bumper to bumper, as you have to push your way there. But it's lovely. I think it's really a nice experience. I would like to go there again.
Thank you, Eli.
That's the story.
Thank you.
You're right
Thank
about
you.
the homeless. They have a terrible homeless problem.
Yeah, I know. And they're very liberal with them, and it's okay, I guess. I know. I don't know what to say, to tell you
The
honestly.
whole West Coast has it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Thank you for showing the photographs. I really appreciate it.
They're wonderful.
And that is it.
Well,
Everybody who went through.
Actually, before everybody takes off, is your phone enough charge now? Okay, what we would like to do before everyone takes off, because not everybody had an opportunity to actually see the show, is Eileen is going to walk around in a moment so you can see actually how the show is hung. And Paul and I and Eileen would also like to know how many of you are now interested in having a Zoom once a month?
I would love
Show of hands. You ready to
I would
do?
love to.
Yeah,
I
mean,
would love to do this in person, but
well, we can do it in person as soon as it's
that's
safe,
yeah,
and we
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
We can, at this point, we are allowing 10 people max in the gallery. That's 5 in the
Right.
front, 5 in the back. So certainly we could do a hybrid, but I think that I, for one, I'm ready. I mean, I also want to see our gallery members do this as well. So thank you. Eileen's gonna walk around, and Eileen, what she's showing right now is Lori Scar's 3 pieces. We had a good time putting this show together. Paul and I made the space a little bit more intimate so that it wasn't a lot of empty space between them. And now you're seeing Ken's pieces. If it's just anything you want to add, let us know. Linda Minutella, who is relatively new to the salon and also participated in the Your Best Shot competition. And then a lovely birds, very interesting, Lauren Jane. I'm sorry we missed a chance to hear her speak about her work. I would like to have heard about what she does commercially. And Barry Firestein has 4 pieces in the back. Beautiful textures. There's been a terrific response to the work, really terrific. And then as we move around the corner to the next wall, we see Mark's work. And you can actually see in this picture on the screen now, you can see how his print is a little more saturated in that beautiful foggy shot. So it's a little different interpretation than what you saw on the screen. I personally like both of them. They're lovely.
Beautiful.
Barbara Labasco's work coming up. That I love seeing the pieces together to see that there's always something that ties an artist's work together, even if the subject matter is vastly different. And then on to Robin Stanton. I love the flow in the room, how all of the work really creates a nice narrative all around our space. Beautiful. All the images are actually just stunning. And let's see, next up, is that Chris?
Yes.
Chris, is it Christine or Chris?
Christina on the label.
Christina, okay. I know she goes by both names. It was wonderful hearing her speak about her work. And then last but not least, you see the 4 images by Ellie Robb. And yes, so thank you all for participating. And I'll let Paul, before you go, please stop by the gallery. Our gallery hours are a little different than what they used to be. We are now open on Thursdays from 12 to 4 p.m. And on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m., with the exception of some of the receptions. And our receptions are not just on Saturday nights now, like the reception for Tom Demick's and Andrea Gordon's show coming up is on Sunday, let's see, Sunday, June, help me out, Andrea? Andrea, are you still there?
She left.
Oh, okay. Tom's and Andrea's reception is on Sunday, June 13th from 1 to 5 p.m. Okay. And the Artist Invitational reception is on Saturday, June 26th from 5 to 7 p.m. And
on Zoom?
Pardon me?
Are they going to be on Zoom?
I think they're in person.
They're in person, but I personally would love to see us do Zoom gallery talks for our artist reception invitational, because we have, in addition, I'll just read this list very quickly. Tom Demick and Michelle Cambier, I might be not pronouncing it correctly, Andrea Fortunoff, Wendy Curtis, Andrea Gordon, Scott Farrell, Kathleen Massey and Joanne Hennig, Paul Leary and Scott Ferrone, Eileen Novak and Hope Terrace, Alan Richards and Randy Illowhite, Victoria Shields and A. Policino, Susan Tiffin and Alan Sawyer, me and John Sino, and Aranda Zistris with Emmett Hughes. Great lineup. It's going to be
all in one show?
Yes, we will have 22 pieces. Wow. And in the back, hung salon style, while in the front we have wonderful solo shows by Andrea and Tom. So please, as always, check our Facebook page, check our website, Instagram, and for those of you who don't know, Eileen Novak has done an absolutely fabulous job with our YouTube channel, and our receptions are recorded and she edits them. So if you want someone else to check them out, let them know. And this is awesome. Paul?
That's all she wrote.
Pam, I just have one quick question for you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Audie and I want to make a contribution. Could you send me some information of how I would go about doing that?
Yes, and thank you for reminding me. I'm horrible with that. We were closed for 5 months, and quite frankly, it's been an interesting challenge because we now have double our size. And while we have attracted some new, wonderful new members, we no longer have Diane's shop in the back. So quite honestly, we are still struggling to make the challenge like many other small galleries. So yes, I should have put that up on the chat. If you go to our website, there is a tab for donating, and it's right on fotofotogallery.org. And thank you for asking, Sandy. That's awesome. You can donate by PayPal.
Oh, okay, that's easy.
I think it's just PayPal.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
All
and-
right.
And look for mine as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
for
much.
inviting me to the gallery. I learned so much from this because I don't have years of history like all of you artists do. I don't consider myself an artist yet. Someday maybe, but I just feel like I learned so much from all of you. I
Thank
love
you.
coming.
You've been a great supporter. Thank you so much, both you and Artie. Thanks very much.
Thank you for having
All
me.
right, Paul, thank you. You did an awesome job. Eileen, guys, as Paul said, that's a wrap. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we hope to see you at the receptions.
Okay.
All right?
Have a good night.
Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Everybody.
Have a good
everyone.
holiday. Have a
Good
safe
night.
holiday weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
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 Bye.